Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
This is a topic that everyone is talking about at the moment, and young Aussies have been blasted as selfish for wanting to work from home, and there's growing calls from business leaders to get more people back into the office. As a result, there are many Aussies, particularly younger workers, who are very reluctant to return to pre-COVID working arrangements. Hybrid work, as it's known,
Things have changed.
is now the norm for many companies, but there are many people that believe working from home needs to be dialed back. On the other hand, there are a lot of people out there, such as a professor from the University of New South Wales, Karen Sanders, who believes that employers who try to force their staff back into the office more days a week are going to see employees being demotivated and less committed.
Ryan James, could it be that those working from home and with their new routine are working smarter, not harder? Maybe there's some more efficiency about not coming in here and stuffing around, because I know in a lot of workplace you talk about water cooler. Everybody loves a chat. You know, if I can get up and go, here's my list of things to do today, and I can tick it off by midday, and then I'll take the dog for a walk, well, you're almost driven to get your work done.
Yeah, you say that, but I hear a lot of discussion around, I get to work from home now, and I mean, these are the ways I get around doing the work. This is how I look busy.
I'm in bed on my laptop.
Yeah, not everyone is motivated when they're at home. Getting up and going to the office can get them moving. And when you're at home, you can be so easily distracted.
How many times do you go to the fridge?
Do you know what? I'm sitting on the fence here because, you know what, I've grown up in teams, right, with sporting teams, and I know how important it is to be face-to-face and be a part of a team. So I understand that a lot of these businesses want you in there 5 days a week because it does work. I know that. But then I think these days, and COVID showed us that mental stability is so much more important these days. And having your employees at 100% strike rate and working the best for you, maybe it is 1 day a week. I know Nova's even talked about this now because by the looks of it, we have a majority of our employees here, Mondays, Fridays, aren't coming into the office.
Okay, so they're working from home 2 days a week.
Would it be motivation for people to come to work to Nova if you do have Fridays off and you have them in here from Monday to Thursday?
Do you know what, if you look at it too, because times are tight, right? Everybody's trying to save a dollar here and there. If you've got to come in on public transport, or if you're driving and paying some of the tolls because you live out of town, and then you get to Pyrmont, you have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
Well, you go, well, I can save a lot more money getting the job done from home.
Yeah.
Can we... there's a guy that has a podcast on this and is very knowledgeable in this area. He was in the corporate world for 20 years working at Goldman Sachs, travelled the world. His name's Cathal, and he joins us now. Cathal, you there, buddy?
I am. How are you?
Good.
Cathal.
Can you just give us briefly, Cathal, just the pros and cons of working at home for an employer?
Yeah, there's a lot of pros for working from home for an employer. I mean, they definitely save costs. They can reduce their office footprint. That's a big one. But there's also a lot of pros for the employee. And actually, happy employees make for happier customers as well for those companies. So there's a lot of research on it, guys, to be honest, that's come out over the last few months that having people work from home, there's a lot more pros than cons of having people coming into the office every day. And what you said there a second ago about the financial costs as well of commuting, that's the big one. There's a lot of talk now about earning the commute. Employees expect employers to earn that commute.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But do you think it depends on the individual? Because I think depending on how you're wired, you are either going to be more productive in the office, surrounded by other people that are doing what you do, and and a bit like what you were saying, Fitzy, you feel as though you're part of a team. And then there are some people who are still going to be productive at home and aren't going to think, oh, this is good, I can do 2 hours of work instead of done 8.
That's a fantastic point. There's a lot of people who like going into the office. I'm certainly one person who does like going into the office a few days a week. But I think if you're doing deep work where you're having to concentrate, having maybe UK coming over saying, can I borrow your tea mug for this afternoon, is really disturbing. So I actually want to stay at home and I want to work on my deep work, right? So you're absolutely right. It depends on the person. Yeah. But I think what the best companies are doing is they're having people come in 2 to 3 days a week for collaboration, for training. That is what the leading companies in the world are doing, and they're having huge success in it. Asking people to come into the office and having them sit around and there's no one there, or they're all on their headphones talking on Zoom, is not the right way to do it.
You know what? It was interesting when we went out to Optus not long ago, Fitz, to interview Ash Barty, and they have a compulsory day on Wednesdays. So you have to come to work on a Wednesday if you're an employee of Optus. What was great, though, was they put on a big show.
Yeah.
There's bands, there's food. They make it an event one day a week just to get you in there.
It is. Catherine, can I ask you, do you honestly, because I see this as a bit of a phase, coming out of COVID, I'm thinking, God, this can't happen forever. And a majority of employers are sort of in the older bracket, Gen X, baby boomers. Do you see this as a phase, or do you think that working from home will become more, people will be doing that more into the future?
I don't normally give such a bold answer to that kind of a question, but I really believe it's not a phase. I think it's going to continue, and I think that the companies that don't support it will lose top talent, because people want flexibility. They want it, and they've gotten used to it. And I think it's going to be really hard. I heard someone say recently, people have rejected the personal and financial costs of a 5-day week commuting. They've rejected it, and I don't think we're going back.
Well said,
Cool,
Cathal.
Cathal, thank you so much. Cathal. Actually, Cathal does have a podcast as well, Being Better at Work as well, which is very interesting. We appreciate your time. We're getting a lot of callers on this. Claudia's given us a call from Avalon. Now, you prefer working from home. Can you tell us about that, Claude?
Yeah, hi guys, how are you?
Good, Claudia.
Yeah, okay, so basically, I'm a software engineer, and I hate waking up in the morning early, so I get to work from home, which is really good. So I've written my own code that keeps me active on Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm busy all day, but actually I get my work done in about 2 hours, and then I just do what I want the rest of the day.
See, I don't mind the initiative here to actually, if you can get your work done in 2 hours, Claudia, right, in the office, what do you do for the rest of the time that you're in the office during the day?
Mostly get distracted by people who want to chat about, like MasterChef or
maths, yeah. Hey,
maths or
Claudia,
whatever.
but what about this? What if you were then to say to your boss, hey, I'm getting it done in 2 hours. Why don't we up my pay and I'll get 4 hours done? I can double the load. That's saving you the cost of another employee and just give me a little bit more cash.
Yeah, because I like my current arrangement. I'm pretty relaxed.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I like doing my 2 hours of work.
How old are you, Claudia?
Yeah, I'm 28.
28, good
28.
effort.
Shut
So,
the front
Claude,
gate.
just quickly, just on this Microsoft Teams, you've put the code in. So, what? It just responds. It can see the conversation, and you respond with, "Yeah, that's funny," or.
No, so basically, it says at the top whether you're online or you're away, or so if you're not at your computer, it will say away, and then the boss is like, what are you doing? Where are you? Kind of thing.
Yep.
But I've kind of hacked the system in a way that it says busy all the time. So it seems like I'm on my laptop doing work all day.
I hope your boss isn't listening.
No, but she's
It's
still
not
productive.
really Claudia. It says down below it's
and you know
Sally
what?
from
I got
IBM.
Employee of the Month last month.
Young Aussies have been blasted as selfish for wanting to work from home. This is huge because growing calls from business leaders, they want people back into the office, and this has fired up everyone on the phones this morning. Working from home. Do you think this is a phase? Do you reckon it'll be phased out at some stage, or this is here to last?
Look, I don't know. I mean, my working day is not the average working day.
Different world.
No, it is.
Yeah, but I like coming into the office.
Great, I love that.
I get a lot from it. And I wonder if this new generation who are not even used to it and are just coming into the workforce now and not having to come into the office are going to miss out on all of those relationships you build with work.
But it was never their normal, was it?
No, they don't know any different.
Well, do you know who else loves going into work? It's Tatiana in Mortlake. She's given us a call. You love it so much, Tatiana?
I do. It's for my mental health mainly. Like, I can't be at home by myself all day. I want to go in. I want
You
to
go mad.
socialise.
What do you do for work,
Get out of my
Tatiana?
PJs. Pardon?
What do you do for work? What's the office?
I work in healthcare.
Oh, great. Okay.
Gotcha. So have you tried working from, well, you would have had to over the pandemic, and you really struggled with that, Tatiana?
Yeah, I was okay because I had other people at home, but now that other people in the household are back in the office, I'm kind of struggling, so I need to go back. I'm happy to do part-time, but I
can understand that.
We've been brought up before as well, which was a good point,
Great
that
point.
if you're prepared to climb the corporate ladder and make your way up through a company...
It's never been easier.
Well, if you go into the office and show the executives that you're here to work and I'm here Monday to Friday while everyone else is working at home, Tatiana, you have an opportunity to promote yourself.
That's good. I've never actually thought about that.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tatiana, thank you for sharing your situation. Good story.
Imogen's given us a call from Dover Heights. You're the opposite, Imogen. You like working from home.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I prefer to stay in my Uggs and trackies on the bottom and look corporate on the top. I mean, I work in marketing, so a lot of the things I do I can do from home anyway. I'm actually at the train station at the moment commuting, and I live a 20-minute drive away from the city, but it takes me an hour by public transport. And just with, the costs of it, everyone, being sick, especially in the winter, COVID going around the office, I much prefer, having that option and staying at home when I choose to.
What's the thing that gets you into the office, though? I mean, you're probably being made to, but do you have nice relationships there, or does it get you out of your Ugg boots? If for someone who prefers to be at home, is there a positive in going in?
There are definitely some positives. Wednesday's my team day, hence why I'm going into the office. And we have a nice morning tea.
Yeah.
If everyone's in the office, then it's definitely an incentive to go in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really why I go in on
That's
Wednesday.
it, the sandwiches,
And in marketing and advertising, I dare say that working from home would be... I mean, that's an area where a lot of employees... That would be the criteria for them taking the job, to know that you can work from home, Imogen. So they're not pushing you. They're not pushing you to come into the office a little bit more?
No, not at the moment. I think, being winter, everyone generally just being happy to stay at home. My office, at least, is pretty happy with the hybrid working structure.
Yeah.
And it looks like all the employees are too. So,
Do you have a snack stand at work, Imogen, where you can go get free snacks?
We don't, unfortunately. I would have loved that, though.
Yeah, we've got one in here.
We've got one in here.
We have one in here. We have a snack stand in here.
That is... But you know what? Why has it been taken away, Tommy? Do we know why?
Well, it's very sad looking snack stand.
Well,
I'm considering making muffins.
It was costing $500 a week.
Well, but see,
wow.
But you know what? We need the snacks back. If you want employees here at
We
Nova
got
to come back,
Garlows.
give us some of those veggie chips, and I want a couple of muesli bars.
So true.
Do you know what?
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.